A very good evening to you once again. Members of the public, various political parties and the religious fraternity protested outside the Jesus Dominion Church in Port Elizabeth during the morning service today, calling for the church to be closed down. Well, the church was founded by the controversial Nigerian pastor Timothy Omotoso, who is on trial for 97 charges of sexual-related offences at the Port Elizabeth High Court. Now, Omotoso and two accused, Zukiswa Sitho and Lusanda Sulani, are facing charges which include sexual assault, racketeering and human trafficking. Tensions were high between the congregants and the protesters. As a result, Metro Police had to intervene, preventing the protesters from entering the church premises. Let's cross now live to our reporter Jayed Leigh Paulse in Port Elizabeth, who's been following the story. A very good evening to you, Jayed. Are there any concerns at this stage from law enforcement agencies that those who want the church to be closed down might take the law into their own hands?
A very good evening to you, Griselda, and to the viewers. Well, law enforcement are patrolling the church vicinity. I know there have been numerously circulating the area since late this afternoon when support is dispersed. However, civic organizations have cautioned against taking the law into their own hands. This afternoon, the ANC Women's League called on citizens to steer clear from any forms of violence or damaging of property. They've also called on the church to be shut down, but have cautioned supporters, saying that, they should not be violent nor destructive. But, Griselda, as it stands, the church has not been shut down permanently. I actually received a statement by the Nelson Mandela municipality saying that the church falls in Zone 1, and that basically means that it is in the CBD section and can operate. Therefore, it is legal. The municipality has, however, also said they will be sending officials to various churches in the metro to establish legal and illegal establishments. And I suppose this will be done in the week.
But isn't it a little bit too late for that, Jayed? I mean, we're seeing what's happening in the Port Elizabeth court since the past couple of weeks. And perhaps the municipality should have long established who is operating legally and illegally by now.
That's very true. I think the bone of contention here was that many people were wondering who actually owned the building. Many were saying that it was actually a businessman in Nelson Mandela Bay, and then others were saying that the building was actually owned by Timothy Omotoso. Hence, they were left to actually operate in that vicinity. But now that all came out today, I know we've made several calls to the municipality actually asking them if it falls within the bylaw, is it a legal entity, is it owned by the businessman or Timothy Omotoso, but they have come out saying now that that building actually falls in Zone 1 in the CBD, and therefore they can operate as a legal entity and as a private entity. So it is not an illegal, entity. They can now operate.
Well, of course, this week, in the week that we're expecting more damning testimony. But the state seems to be tight-lipped about tomorrow's witness, I guess over fears of intimidation. Talk to us a bit about that.
That's very true. State Prosecutor Nigerian, he's been very tight-lipped about who he intends to call to the stand tomorrow, Griselda. He's not only shared that with myself, but he hasn't shared it with any of the media, my fellow media colleagues. We're also aware that there has been serious threats, made to witnesses before the trial even commenced. Yeah. So I suppose this is also a way of ensuring safety for witnesses. Most of the victims on the witness list are in witness protection and under police watch. So I suppose, the state are trying to protect the witnesses. And also, I'm also told that the lady that's going to take to the stand tomorrow, she has also asked that she testifies in open court. She's not going to shy away from the media. She's not going to shy away once she takes the stand. So I imagine that the state is just trying to protect her and also to, make her strong enough to face the defense without leaking it to the press a day before the trial.
Jayed Leigh Paulse coming to us live from Port Elizabeth, who's been covering the Omotoso trial. Thank you very much for your time this evening.